a consumer, a supermarket appears as a highly organized, pristine retail space. Bright lighting reflects off polished floors and perfectly stacked produce. From an operational standpoint, this environment is actually a massive, high-risk commercial kitchen. It combines high-volume public foot traffic with perishable food storage, hot food preparation, and open display, all operating continuously within a single footprint. Standard commercial cleaning contracts are built for retail spaces. They focus on sweeping floors, washing windows, and emptying bins. Applying that cosmetic approach to a supermarket leaves dangerous operational vulnerabilities exposed. The regulatory framework regulating these spaces is FSANZ Standard 3.2.2. It legally categorizes every single surface where unpackaged food contacts a fixture as a zone requiring strict contamination control. Failing to meet these standards carries immediate financial consequences. The most devastating penalty is operational. Unannounced inspections can result in prohibition orders, forcing the immediate, mandatory closure of highly profitable deli and hot food service areas until compliance is proven. Surviving these audits requires abandoning cosmetic cleaning, simply wiping down surfaces for visual appeal. It requires operational decontamination, targeting the microscopic biological and mechanical hazards embedded in the equipment. True compliance demands a layered matrix of actions: mechanical disassembly of food equipment, strict thermal regulation of storage areas, and highly targeted chemical interventions tailored to specific contamination types. Operating a supermarket like a clothing store with groceries guarantees failure. Treating it as a heavily regulated food processing facility is the only way to prevent systemic public health hazards and operational shutdowns. The highest risk point for cross-contamination lies at the stainless steel deli counter and its commercial meat slicers. FSANZ Clause 24 strictly requires that all food contact surfaces and equipment be maintained in a condition that completely prevents contamination of raw proteins and ready-to-eat items. Wiping the exterior housing of a meat slicer provides the illusion of cleanliness. It does not satisfy Clause 24 because it leaves the internal mechanisms untouched. Raw protein residue accumulates heavily in the hidden mechanical zones of the equipment, specifically within the blade guards, carriage tracks, and thickness adjustment dials. Eliminating this hidden biological threat requires a mandatory two-stage chemical protocol. First, an alkaline clean breaks down the stubborn fat and protein layers. Second, a food-safe quaternary ammonium sanitizer neutralizes the remaining microbial load. This chart tracks ATP bioluminescence, the standard metric for biological safety. After the two-stage protocol, the microbial count drops drastically. To achieve compliance, counts must register strictly below 100 relative light units. Anything above constitutes a contamination risk. Scheduled mechanical disassembly, combined with verifiable biological metrics, forms the only reliable defense against severe protein cross-contamination at the deli counter. Moving from cold preparation to the bakery and hot food bain-maries introduces an entirely different challenge. These are high-heat, continuous steam generation zones. These areas fall strictly under AS 1668.1 ventilation standards. The compact retail exhaust hoods suspended over supermarket rotisseries carry the exact same regulatory burden as massive commercial kitchen canopies. The primary mechanical threat here is airborne. Fine flour particulate mixes with vaporized cooking fat, creating a dense, sticky amalgamation that embeds deeply inside the extraction filters. This cross-section illustrates an unmaintained extraction duct. As the fat and flour solidifies, the duct is choked off, dropping the system to 30% capacity. Ambient temperatures rise sharply. More dangerously, condensed grease builds up and drips directly onto open food below. This hidden grease accumulation provides a concentrated, high-calorie food source, quietly drawing cockroaches and rodents up into the ceiling voids directly above the bakery. A simple mechanical maintenance failure in the exhaust system inevitably triggers a severe biological contamination crisis on the sales floor. The walk-in cool room and fresh produce storage areas represent the critical first stage of any supermarket's HACCP plan. During trading hours, staff continuously open and close the heavy cool room doors. Each opening allows warm store air to rush in, creating rapid, localized temperature spikes. This extreme macro footage captures the result of temperature cycling. Heavy condensation continuously forms on the cold metallic ridges of the room's evaporator coils. When that constant moisture mixes with the microscopic organic debris naturally circulating in the coolroom air, it initiates a dangerous chemical reaction. The result is biofilm, a highly resilient bacterial colonization that anchors itself to the evaporator coils and shelving surfaces. Because the evaporator coil's primary function is to circulate air, a colonized coil acts as a distribution mechanism, blowing aerosolized microbial matter across all the fresh food stored in the room. If biofilm is left unchecked in cold storage, it compromises the safety and shelf life of all incoming fresh stock before a staff member ever touches it. At the perimeter of the store, the loading docks and massive retail floor layouts present an enormous scale of potential entry points for pests. Under AS 3660 pest management standards, supermarkets face vastly elevated pest pressure compared to standalone restaurants due to continuous deliveries and high organic turnover. Pests are drawn by systemic attractants, standing water from produce misting runoff, decomposing organics trapped in display case drains, and endless cardboard packaging acting as harborage in the loading dock. Relying on reactive pesticide spraying is dangerous and heavily restricted when operating in close proximity to open fresh produce and bakery items. This architectural cutaway reveals the mitigation strategy. Rigorous waste audits must target hidden crumb traps and grease reservoirs under fixed rotisseries and inside display tracks. The systematic physical removal of biological attractants out of these hidden zones is the only sustainable, food-safe method to maintain AS 3660 compliance. Achieving compliance means linking past the individual aisles and treating the supermarket as a single, highly integrated ecosystem. Effective management utilizes layered cleaning frequencies, matching the intensity of the intervention precisely to the contamination rate of the specific zone. Daily interventions tackle immediate biological loads, mechanically sanitizing deli slicers post-service, draining warm water from bain-maries, and clearing debris from prep floors. Weekly interventions manage structural buildup, degreasing the bakery and hot food extraction filters, and chemically deep cleaning the cool room door seals to maintain thermal integrity. This grid maps out the final layer. Monthly interventions require complete evaporator coil remediation and the physical pullout of heavy equipment to clear deep structural debris. Executing this precise, layered matrix perfectly aligns the store's physical maintenance with its documented HACCP critical control points. Strict adherence to this operational matrix ensures a facility will pass unannounced audits from the Food Authority without triggering infringement notices. Specialized zone-specific decontamination is a core operational requirement. Executing it properly protects consumers, preserves expensive hardware, and ensures the supermarket's most profitable sections continue.